Are you an indie podcast or content creator looking to reach a wider audience? Look no further. Introducing Podcastic, the ultimate podcast network designed exclusively for indie creators like you. At Podcastic, we believe in the power of unique voices and fresh perspectives. We're here to amplify your passion and creativity, connecting you with the growing community of engaged listeners who crave original content. Podcastic is more than just a platform. It's a support system built for indie podcasters, offering a range of resources to help you succeed. From tailored promotional campaigns to professional production assistance, we're here to help you shine. Our intuitive platform makes it easy for you to be seen and heard. We do all the heavy lifting for you. You just show up and create. Plus, with our advanced analytics, you'll gain valuable insights into your audience's preferences, allowing you to refine your content and grow your fan base. Ignite your passion, expand your reach, and thrive with podcasting. Visit our website at www.podcasticlife.com to get started. Podcasting, the home for indie podcasts and content creators.
TNT Cakes, Creations, and More, where we specialize in red velvet and strawberry cheesecake, chocolate-covered strawberries, custom baby boxes, custom signs, custom tees and sweatshirts, custom sports balls, graduation accessories, custom glasses and tumblers, custom license plates, heat transfers, custom office signs. TNT Cakes, Creations, and More. Give us a call.
This episode of the Big Flex StrongCast is sponsored by Gym Animal Muscle Gang brand. If you are looking for some help reaching your health and fitness goals with one-on-one training, group training, meal plans, nutritional advice, and more, visit GAMGfitness.com. Do you want to look great while working out with the dopest workout apparel, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, joggers, skull caps, tank tops, and more? Visit www.gamgfitness.com or email us at gamgpodcast7@gmail.com. Don't forget to visit us on Instagram or Facebook under Gym Animal Muscle Gang Fitness. Or give us a call at 313-378-7274. That's 313-378-7274.
Dope ass intro. Hey, I'm fucking impressed. Oh shit. I gotta give you a round of applause on that one and shit, man. I think you need to put your ankle all up into that one and shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my bad, y'all. Welcome back to the GAMG, the Big Flex StrongCast. I am your host, John Q in this bitch. And we have, our other distinguished host in the building. LaToyia, Dashawn in the building. What up, though, sis?
What up?
Yeah, buddy. And then we also have Mr. Don Snipes in the building. What up, though, brother?
What up, though?
And behind the boards, we have Mr. Doc, a.k.a. I ain't gonna say Dr. Ruckus in the building, but yeah. Dr. Ruckus in the building. Give yourself a clap. Hey, man, that's a dope ass. I'm glad I didn't see it until now. You know what I'm saying? As y'all see, new intro music. Thank y'all. You know, I say thank y'all. Let me know what y'all think about it. But anyway, this is episode 90. We got some shit going on today. You know what I'm saying? How was y'all strong again, man?
Well,
besides it's cold,
it's cold AF.
Yeah, it's cold as shit.
My strong end was decent. I just really stayed in the house and packed.
Okay.
A lot. I actually may have packed a little too hard.
Oh shit!
Because I packed up some shit I need.
But like, how many? Look, estimated how many boxes?
Oh my gosh! I'm probably at 10, maybe 12. So the great thing
that
about
ain't
me
bad.
is that I don't have a lot of stuff. I'm a minimalist.
Okay.
A solid 4 of those boxes are shoes.
Okay.
But the second the guest bedroom is packed, the bed is broke down, that closet's cleared out. The living room cabinets, my dressers, like I'm pretty much.
You done packed up some cabinets?
Yeah. Like I'm pretty much
done took
done.
them off the wall
I just
and
have
everything.
my closet,
Oh, what the hell?
left to do, and some of the
All
stuff
right.
in the kitchen. I'm ready. Let's go.
Like you took the kitchen sink?
Yeah.
All right. What about you, brother? What about you, Snipes? How was your strong end?
Why do I feel like she be sending subliminals and stuff? Like, speaking to women in code, that nigga said, I packed up some stuff that I really needed. I packed up
Hey,
a
look,
little
I hope so. You need it.
good.
Shit.
I packed up a little too much.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Look at that, bro.
I definitely did not pack those things.
Yikes.
Right.
The nightstand drawer is still intact.
Gotcha.
Wow, that's funny.
Just say.
Listen, this weekend, or this strong end rather, was just, you know what? This strong end was fucking weak. How about that? Because we just, listen, Aunt Joan said, she said, you want to know something ironic? She said, I read something that said the other day it was one of the most gloomiest days of the year. And I said, because I said that it felt like it was a dark cloud over the city that day.
Mm.
You understand
Michigan,
what I'm
man.
saying?
Shit.
And then the big show at the Joe, all right, took place Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, one of the artists didn't show up, Bossman D-Lo.
Really?
So he said he was here, and then today the promoter said, "Nah, you was up in the room high. You missed your set. So sit your ass down and run that front end 75,000. Run that front end advance back." So now they beefing. You understand what I'm saying? But I say that to say that it was a wild, strong and just a lot going on.
That's crazy.
I made some lamb chops. I roasted some lamb chops. I marinated them in a mustard.
Every time.
I did a Dijon olive oil and lemon juice marinade and with some fresh basil, and then I did some of that.
You know, we was talking, man, about the lamb and stuff like that, man. You gotta
listen. I'm gonna tell you, this is the only reason
you gotta come on in on that
Listen.
shit, because I'm gonna have to start in back eating a little bit of, say, more lamb in my diet.
get some B vitamins in your life, some iron, lean protein. Outside of that, I'll just say this was just a wild strong end. I'm gonna leave it at that. And so I just read some bullshit that you just said we gonna speak on, but I can't even believe what I just saw when I walked in here.
Yeah. So, like I said, hey, look, this is We're Gym Conversation meets podcast, and so make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Okay. So, what he's talking about, as far as the strong end, I know everybody around here have been feeling a little down about our team getting their ass whooped by the Commandos, the Washington Commandos, 45-31. So. Really don't even want to watch no other kind of football game. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lions and shit ain't playing.
Like, why? Why even turn the TV on?
It's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even win one playoff game this year. Everything was set up for us. And, make it matters a little bit worse about us losing Saturday night. We knew we was going to lose, say, probably both our coordinators. As of right now, our offensive coordinator decided to be a snake in the fucking grass and become enemy number one and go to the Chicago fucking Bears.
What?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So Benedict Ben Johnson, guess what, buddy?
Hell no.
You are enemy number one to every Lions fan. So when you come home, when you come back here, just know the boos are specifically for you.
For you, sir.
Just know it. You know what I mean?
You know, the only thing...
And it's like you reflect on that game, and it's like, we already knew, okay, run the ball, right? We are one of the best at running the ball, right? Why the fuck you got Jared Goff passing the ball so much? He was turning the ball over, and all you had to do was run the ball. They couldn't stop us when we was running the ball. Not only that, why would you start the first series with Montgomery instead of Gibbs, right?
So that's what I said.
It was a lot of coaching errors, I would say.
That I would...
Yeah.
You let him get a chance to warm up. You don't bring him up.
Give him a few.
I actually was nervous when I saw him. Like, whoa, buddy.
Give him a few plays to get warmed up and back in the game. And like immediately,
Yeah, I mean, it's starting though. Like, you know what I mean? Like the first series, you got him in. And it's like, no, Gibbs and shit is the superstar. Right? Mm-hmm. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to take anything away from Montgomery, but he was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You want to just come in,
right?
Use him sparingly. You know what I'm saying?
Don't re-injure him.
Because, like I said, if you look at, as soon as they put Gibbs in, went right on down the field, no fucking problem, right? Washington had the 30th worst rushing defense, right? We had like the top 5 for sure, in running the ball. You know what I mean? Just in general, right? Yeah. And it's like after Goff fumbled the ball and then threw that first interception, as a coordinator or a head coach, somebody should just step in and say, guess what? We not being cute on none of this shit. We running the ball, period. This is the playoffs. You cannot afford to turn the ball over against any of these teams that's left in the playoffs. They're good and they're there for a reason.
And we also couldn't afford to be doing trick plays.
Oh, man. First time, you going to let J-Mo and shit throw a fucking pass? Like, come on, man. Are you serious?
You know what I mean? Time to be trying a new trick play.
You know what I mean? And then everybody going to say, well, y'all was loving the trick pass. Listen, that's fine in the regular season. Everything gets condensed, you know what I'm saying, in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. It's about being smart. Everybody
knows who make the least amount of mistakes.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we made a lot of them.
And we made a ton. We turned the ball over 5 times. And you don't do that. Not only that, as a coordinator, you have to understand your strengths and weaknesses as a head coach or a coordinator just in general, right? So if we know our strength is our O-line, we can run the ball, right? And we know our weakness right now with all our injuries is our defense. Mm-hmm. And then we end up losing like 3 other cats during the game. That means and shit, run the ball. Like
first possession.
I'm sorry, man.
Let's keep it. Yeah, because that's just we'll be on that all night.
But yeah, Ben Johnson, you know what? Thanks for nothing, you bastard. Now you enemy number fucking 1. You know what I mean? Enemy number 1.
That's crazy.
If anybody want to call in to let us know, your frustration with everything that's going on with the Lions, and we're going to get in our main topic shortly, but call in at area code 810-560-0658. So Aaron Glenn, I'm not for sure if he's taking a job yet, but I think it looked like it might be the New York Jets, and I knew we was going to probably lose our coordinators. So I'm not even, even mad that they're leaving, but you go to that straight up enemy though. Yeah. I mean, you go to how you going to go ahead and coach against the coach that gave you your actual starting, job as being an offensive coordinator, and then you going to coach in the same division? That's some snake shit. Go to another team. You know what I mean? You had the Raiders, you got the Jets, you got New Orleans, you got Jacksonville, you got other teams.
They came with that Donald Trump check. It was like,
Dallas. No. Listen,
money talks.
Listen. Brady already. The Raiders was already saying that they was about to offer him $90 million for 6 years. So it's not the money. It's not the money. And they was telling him, if you have in mind and shit a general manager that you want to bring, let us know. We'll hire him too.
They want $90 million for 6 years.
They was going to give him and make him like the highest paid coach in the league. So it's not even about the money. But why would you go to Chicago? Out of all places, we're gonna be seeing him 2 times a year. Just think about that. That was some snake in the grass ass shit. And it's coming out that he already pretty much got his staff already together. Within 2 days of them losing, come on, man. You was already scheming and plotting.
So you think it was a setup?
I'm not going to say it was a setup, but you wasn't doing your fucking job during this time that they had off on scheming.
To win.
Yeah, for us.
Coming up with a scheme to win.
There you go. So, yeah, you know, I'm a little, you know, tight the air, you know what I'm saying, about the fucking Lions, but anywho, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like I said, if y'all want to call in, let us know, you know, go ahead and get it off your chest, you know what I mean? We can make it happen. All right, y'all. Y'all got anything y'all want to go ahead and y'all ready to go get right into this one? Y'all ready?
We can go into the topic for the day.
All right, y'all. We're about to get into some heavy shit. I mean, okay, so look, we all know that quote unquote Black History Month is coming up and everything. And last week, you know, after the show, we sat here and we was discussing one of our topics, which is going to be our topic tonight, which is it was loosely based off of Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes and, you know, a few people speaking about the origins of hip hop. All right. That's not just you know, that was just like the tip of the iceberg, because they made some comments. Well, Busta Rhymes for sure. We made some comments, and not just him, but a lot of other people from the diaspora that's here, whose people are from, say, different countries, that speak about, say, Black people not having any culture. I highly disagree. I believe we all do. I believe, actually, we all been, even, say, Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans and some of everybody, culture has been a little bit, I would say, diluted, or I would say colonized to a degree. So for somebody else to speak on and say, hey, quote unquote, Black Americans don't have any culture, I kind of find that a little disrespectful in a way, because you start looking at the history of quote unquote Black Americans, we can go back, you know what I'm saying, as far as you would like to let people know how long we've been here, our accomplishments, how our culture has influenced other people from other countries that want to come here to even assimilate Black Americans. Mm-hmm. Right. So what I mean is like this. Let's ask this question. What is Black and what is Black culture? Anybody want to answer that one?
Well, let's start with culture.
Okay.
Right? So
you want me to give you the definition?
I'm about to give you the definition.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah, you got it too?
Yeah, I got it. Oh, yeah.
Okay, you want to go for it?
No, go ahead, sis.
So culture, by definition, is a broad concept that encompasses the shared beliefs, values, and behaviors of a group. Mm-hmm. Now, I think where we talk about Black culture, right, is things that are specific to our group, the way we were raised,
our experiences, yeah, like the things that were poured into us from family norms, but also environmental norms, neighborhood norms, the school you went to. All of that feeds into the Black culture. Yeah. Okay. What about you, Snipes? You over there still. You want to go ahead? So
I would also like to point out that Black culture for us here as inner city Michigan children, completely different than Black culture in the South.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, our culture is wide range, you know what I'm saying? It's very layered, you know, and what I mean by that is, you know, like I said, we can go from instances where our culture involves, say, towns like Black Wall Street, even Black Bottom here, Paradise Island here, Wilmington, North Carolina, where there was pretty much a civil war, right, between, say, white supremacists versus, say, all quote unquote Black politicians and government, okay, that's taking place. So when you speak of, say, also say of our culture, you know, now you're talking about, say, the invention of like different genres of music. You know, you have blues to rock and roll, of course, say hip hop, and that's what we got started on it. Mm-hmm. So like I said, of course, people like to say, okay, America is this big melting pot, right, of different cultures and different people coming here. However, it was already a lot of, say, culture, you know what I mean, that was here before people even got here. So when I ask the question, say, what is black? You know, because when you start looking into the definition of black, who labels you black? Mm-hmm. Are we Negroes? Are we colors? Are we copper colored? What are we? You know what I mean? Are we African American? How not? Why not say American or American, quote unquote, African, you know? So I always look at, say, the definition of black as to describe a thing, right? It's an adjective. It's a way to describe something, right? It's not a person, place, or thing. It's not a noun. You know what I mean? So when you start looking into what is black, are we talking about in this system here? When I mean this system, the system that we currently live in, as far as like legal aspects, you know, legal genres or whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, if you label yourself black in this system, now you're minimizing who you are, and you putting yourself at a disadvantage by calling yourself black. Because black is not a nationality, right? Black doesn't give you a pretty much a human, say, destination. Right? So who are we if we say in black culture? So black culture to me actually is deaf culture. Because if you start looking into the, you know, the word salad or the wordplay of, say, black and culture and stuff like that, okay, who is bringing, say, deaf culture? Some of everybody done brought that over here, right? Deaf culture and shit is really in the world itself.
I have a question for it. So
yeah,
if you speak to your younger self, how would you label yourself?
Start off probably as an American, right? However, me and you, we know within our family, we got one of our first cousins that was able to do a lot of genealogy work, right? And nowhere down the line on our side, we was able to even see anything African. Now, okay, we could say, okay, we have, say, African theory, right? That out of African theory, which possibly, you know what I'm saying, our African roots maybe came from, say, the quote unquote Northern Africans, which were the Moors, who operated and controlled, say, Europe. Our people go back to, say, ruined France, 1521. A lot of people are not able to go ahead and track back their lineage and their roots that far. However, for all the way from, say, 1521, there is no African, there is no slave ships, there is none of that, right? But what do we do see?
You would basically say that you lean more towards us being indigenous to America, period.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Exactly, because look on how many other people are indigenous to their land. You have indigenous Australians, you have indigenous Africans, you got indigenous, I can't even say South Americans because that's American. Like, you know what I mean? We are on one continent, right? So you have indigenous, some of everything, you know, like our people, you know, as far as melanated people or whatever you want to call it, right, have been indigenous to this whole globe, you know what I'm saying, to this whole earth. So to specifically say that we are monolithic or we come from one place in general, just because of Charles Darwin, who actually is the creator of the out of Africa theory, who is a eugenist, who is also a racist and a white supremacist. You have to start wondering, like, who is teaching history? You know what I mean? Is it history, or is it there as a narrative? Is there propaganda to have you start looking outside of who you actually are? Especially if we the only ones, like, I haven't came across another group of people, right, that's melanated or, you know, not non-melanated or less melanated people who have also names have changed throughout, say, centuries
History.
or years in history. But I can always
From
point
Negro to color,
I can always point to ours,
to Afro-American, named after a hairstyle.
There you go. You understand what I'm saying? So to me, it
colored.
And to me, once you start, say, linking a lot of these things together, you start to see where people have benefited as far as doing that by
governments,
by taking people land, taking people resources, moving people off their land, and everything else.
Passing laws
I definitely want you to chime in
that work in their favor. I once. The very first time that I saw this, it was about a senator, and I feel like it was either in Virginia or Pennsylvania. Don't quote me, but basically it was saying, and this was some time ago, that literally there were some Native Americans, and they put on their records, that they were being sold, they were enslaved, that they were, colored or black, whatever it was. But the point that I'm making is they completely changed, what these people were, and they did it for a reason. And a lot of times when you really think about history, and you think about some of the Indian reservations, you think about some of the Indian tribes, a lot of these reservations, they're subsidized by the government. A lot of these reservations, people on them, they receive stipends, they receive money for family members. But it became a point to where you have to prove that you're this. So if somebody tells some of your ancestors, where you're not this no more, you're this, and now they start telling everybody, well, this is what we are, that take you away from receiving any of the thing, because you can't even prove who you are.
So, for example, something to this degree, where you had this guy named Walter Plecker, right? He was in charge of, say, Virginia, like the state of Virginia's vital statistics and census records, right? Okay, Walter Plecker's policies pressure state agencies to reclassify most claiming Indian identity as color in spite of a 1930 amendment to the Radical Integrity Act that restored the legal status of some Virginia Indians who lived on reservation lands, right?
Well, that's what I was just talking about. There we go.
There you go.
Go ahead. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I got the...
I'm like, I remember. So, I just wanted to get the state right. But yes, there we go. Yes, he was changing people's shit.
There you go.
But it was for the benefit of, we don't got to pay these motherfuckers.
There you go.
That's what it was about.
That's where this is what you call a paper genocide. So... him along with, say, other people that was eugenists / say white supremacists or whatever, this what they was doing. This what they always been doing, that sit in, say, government positions of stuff like that to control legislation, to control laws, to minimize and actually take away melanated people or whatever you want to call it. Black or whatever you want to call yourself. So I guess on this, as far as when it comes to, like I said, this black culture thing, do we have, because we were talking about this last week, Dr. Ruckus, I want you to speak about this too. We're speaking about, say, religion, culture, and what else did you mention? Say religion, culture,
and food.
So we do have quote unquote soul food, at least, right? Saying in Americas, right?
No.
Why not?
It's really slop.
It's still a culture.
No, it's not a culture.
Oh, it's part of it.
No, you can't say something that's degrading as a culture. Because it wasn't fit for us. It was just left for us, and it's a difference.
Well,
and because if it was our choice, we wouldn't have ate what we ate. We would have had the top of the part that we served our slave master. So we wouldn't have got the best of the.
So what about, say, corn and all these indigenous, say, foods and fruits and stuff like that that's only originated, say, in the Americas?
Well,
we do eat.
Corn wasn't really meant for us to eat. It's meant for animals to eat.
I'll put it like this.
Because corn, we can't digest corn.
Animals don't digest corn either.
The animals are supposed to eat corn does. The ones that have to digest them. Listen, the ones that have to digest the system to eat corn eats corn.
Well, we'll put it like this. Say, okay, there are, say, indigenous foods or foods that's originated, say, from the Americas that, say, Americans eat till to this day,
Like
right?
what?
What do we have that's original from here? We have it's not yams, it's sweet potatoes? Yams, I know, is more so from I think a Caribbean. It's because it's two different ones. I would have to actually go back and find out myself about the actual fruit, food and stuff like that. But it's a lot of things that were, say, originated from here. You know what I mean? Even when it comes to, say, certain animals, that originated from here and went other places. Just like, okay, there are quote unquote theories of, say, Americans that actually were transported to Africa and then came back, opposed to, say, the Atlantic slave trade. So like it was told, say, in a different kind of way. All right. However, what you got?
No. I'm having fun just even listening to this. You guys both bring
okay,
up,
so
bring
once
up a
again,
good
say
point.
we were speaking about, say, language, right?
Yeah.
Now you said that we don't have any language.
No, we don't.
So what would you call, say, even to this day, say, broken English? You have a lot of cultures that come over here and speak broken English on purpose. You got actors, you got rappers, you got everybody that come over here, right? And try to assimilate to our culture to make money, right? But that is a culture.
It's a dumbed down culture. It's a dumbed down society, and it's not fair.
But what culture is not then? That's the case because everybody's been colonized.
No, they might have been colonized, but a lot of them died for what they believe in.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. From Jamaicans to Puerto Ricans to everywhere that you go, every place has been colonized. Everywhere has been, say, tainted from somebody else's
tainted,
quote unquote culture.
Tainted,
right?
But however, if you go to Jamaica, they still got. When you say Jamaican, you think of curry chicken. You think of,
no.
I'm just,
when I speak of, say, Jamaica, I'll speak. Because it's very highly that they are very like influenced, say, by Great Britain, by the UK, because that's who was colonized. Just no different than what, say, quote unquote America has been influenced and, say, colonized by, say,
we're the only group
Great
of people.
Britain.
We're the only group of people who still don't have our own people on our currency. Every other culture you can name have their own group of people on their currency.
Well, I'll put it like this.
So wait, let me just so
yeah, go ahead.
You bring up an interesting point in terms of maybe the food that we were left to eat, and you're like, hey, listen, it's one thing if we created this particular thing, but you're saying that, hey, listen, no, we made do with what we were given, and it's different, right? And I'm just sitting up here and I'm really thinking about the statement that you made in terms of some of the people that were like, when I think of the Haitian Revolution and some things, they all stood up and said, "Shit, we willing to die for A, B, and C, and we not about to this, that, and the third." While we're having this discussion about our culture, you said something interesting in terms of black and death, because I really just sat and thought to myself, like, man, what is it that we really have to all kind of come together on, that we would all share in a kind of like a general consensus of what quote our culture is.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you said something that was interesting in terms of Northern culture is different from Southern culture. Mm-hmm. All right, you live in Detroit, East Side culture,
East Side, West Side,
East Side culture,
West Side.
Yeah.
I get that, but from a quote unquote black culture, and we're just going to use that phrase because that's what most people are, is commonly, looked at. What is black culture? The thing that's kind of been on my mind when I was driving here, I was like, man, within our culture, we really do pass down a lot of things that haven't been good. I was just sitting up thinking about it, and and I don't want to sound like I'm rambling with this, but
Like
I'll
definitely
give you,
recently, I agree.
I'll give you a few things. Yeah, I feel like, you know, maybe some of the folk that are in their 70s, 80s, 90s. There was a time where there were so many things to be proud of within, you know, our culture. You know, whether it was proud of, hey, education, proud of, you know, let's lock this thing down so that it benefit the whole. You know, right now I see you got groups like New Era Detroit. You know, they're trying to create a new culture in terms of some solidarity when it comes to, you know, holding down protection of the community, holding down the, you know, black neighborhoods. I get it. But outside of that, more recently, especially with the young folk, man, they're doing things that, you know, are really embarrassing to, you know, our people as a whole. Something that stood out to me was, man, we've had a lot of trauma passed down to us. And because we've had so much trauma passed down to us, in some regard, I feel like it is kind of hard for some people to identify with a particular culture that we all can collectively agree on that we have. Like, when I think about how people in their family structures can't stick together, you know, have a hard time, you know, there's a lot of shame and guilt, and, you know, in our community, a lot of, soon as somebody come up and start, you know, creating businesses. Listen, I was listening to this African the other day, and he brought up a really interesting point. He said in Africa, if an African creates a company, people, and he charges $10 for a T-shirt, people gonna go to him and say, "Why are you charging me $10? You probably got that for $1." He said, but they're not thinking about that when they buy European products.
Absolutely.
That might say Gucci or Louis Vuitton. That those same people bought the same shit for $1, and they gonna charge your ass $100 to $1,000 for the same.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody gonna ask that question.
And ain't nobody gonna say a word.
Yeah.
And so when I think about that, I think about how many of us have just been, it's been ingrained within our culture to kind of not see value in things that, you know, we create. You know, I'm in, I do movies, plays, and all that other kind of stuff, and I spoke about this one time before, but I never forget going to Broadway, and when, you know, white actors go to Broadway, they celebrate it.
Yeah.
When black actors come and do stage plays, the first thing they say, "This motherfucker fell off. He broke. They ain't got no money."
It's a chicken and wing ding joint or some shit.
We don't even, you know, celebrate, you know, certain things like that. And I'm saying that I feel like maybe we need to start asking different questions so that we can move past this conversation, because it's a difficult one. It's very challenging, and it could just bring up a lot of emotions that many of us have, you know, experienced growing up, you know, in our communities.
Do you think these kind of conversations actually bring out either the best or worst, or really show what kind of mind do you have? Like, do you have a colonized mind? You know, because when you start thinking about, say, one culture saying that another culture don't have any culture and stuff like that, that's not bringing people together. And I thought, you know what I'm saying, as far as us coming up, the whole thing was about unity. And a lot of things and stuff that we have done together, say, basis on, say, quote unquote, hip hop, I thought was one of the things that would bring, say, people together. So now you're starting to see, you know what I mean, people trying to go ahead and say, and have a colonized mind and say, well, I'm better than you, and I'm better than you. And it's like, no, we all fucked up together, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? We all are still being pretty much and shit oppressed by the same people or whatever in a way. Now, you might be getting a fucking bigger bag, or you might be getting a bigger bag individual, this and that, another, or whatever. But ultimately and shit, you know what I'm saying? Don't none of us and shit, quote unquote, say have banks. Like you said, no money and shit with our own fucking people on there. What do we, you know what I mean? What do we actually fucking own at the end of the day? And that's sad because now you have, say, people in the diaspora, just say Africa, for example. If we all say, okay, quote unquote, we all came from Africa, right? Why aren't we not, say, you know, really fucking with each other and shit, even on an economic basis and shit, you know what I'm saying? If we have, say, so many trillions of dollars and shit as far as economic power over here in the U.S. and actually be able to, you know what I'm saying, work together and shit collectively. Is it because and shit, you know, a lot of these places and stuff like, say, Africa and everywhere is still having tribalism, which is another form of, say, colonism, you know what I mean, a colonized mind.
Or that's just a way to where, hypothetically speaking, that's how you can tell they have a particular way. Like when I forgot Hotel Rwanda, remember So
the Hutus,
they knew who was who because of their language. They were like, oh no.
But that's even still.
But I'm trying to give you an example we East Side, West Side. Just because we black, we think that just because we say what up though, that we identify with each other well, and we don't. We don't know. If we have a particular language that we stay by and we stick by, we'll go together, we'll grow together. Mm-hmm. People who are divided, they walk different, they talk different. That's how you can tell who is who.
Yeah. And listen, and you bring up a good point in terms of people that are divided. I've been to some parties where there may not, if it was 100 people there and there was maybe like 8 blacks, and some of the blacks that's there, they're not going to walk up and introduce themselves to you. Mm-hmm. Listen, I'm going to say why that's important to me. I've been around some people that are Moroccan, Ethiopian, and let them see another Ethiopian or Moroccan.
Oh, they gonna run to their ass.
Oh, you know, sir. Yep. Oh, I'm black. Okay, and that I think about these kind of things because you know, again, here in America, if you were born and raised in America, there's just some things that we have to overcome, and maybe the conversation needs to start to be different when it comes to how can we move past this? Because you said, you made a comment, you said, does that still show a colonizer mindset? Now, I didn't necessarily go that far. I looked at it as it shows a lack of evolving, growth, developing, and a lack of maturity all across the board. Yeah. We wake up every day now, and you can see 50, 60 different conversations about who making the money and who's supposed to pay the bills. Mm-hmm. Instead of how can we pay these? How can we build? Together so that we can eliminate some of the bills? Okay, but here's the deal, right? We always when I'm on job, and here's my deal. Somebody once told me, just pay attention to nature. You'll really learn a lot. Mm-hmm. When I'm on the construction sites and I see the Mexican guys working, somebody wiped and made burritos for everybody. Yep. Maybe they might buy them for this little to nothing, but hey, we got food. It's hot. It's in the cooler. They all gonna carpool with one another. Mm-hmm. Okay, they gang bang a job. I watched them do a roof in one day. It used to take me minimum 1 to 2 days. Yeah. If I got a roof done in a day and a half, that was always good for me. Yeah. Okay, but I could never even get that many dudes to even get up there and complete the job. You know what I'm saying? It's always been very, very difficult, and I always ask myself, for you and
shit, so we can go ahead and try to see how fast we can do mine. No.
but I say that to say that when I think about our culture, and I think and you said a word that just really kind of resonated with me, and I think of the deaf culture. What are we doing to really keep love alive? Keep kill the spirit of competition and bring together the spirit of cooperation. You know what I'm saying? And leading with our heart. Yeah. There's many of us in our own communities. People can say what they want, but some of us walk down our own streets in our own neighborhoods, and we're scared to look at another person that look just like us. Yeah. Yeah. And that's sad, and it's hurtful. You understand what I'm saying? When you really think about it. I was talking to my partner Zach, and he took a trip over to Africa. He went to Kenya, and when he came back, when he described Kenya to me, he said it felt like a hug from a big brother that I never had.
Yeah.
Right. And then he's talking to me about some of the things that he saw, because he wasn't in the touristy areas. He was in, some of the neighborhoods over there.
in the community,
and he was like, he said a few things that stood out to me. He said, man, it was interesting to see Black love. It was interesting to see people in the neighborhood that might have said, hey, listen, we live in this village or whatever. We know everybody that come through this mug. Somebody that come into this mug that we don't know, we gonna at least speak. Yeah. We ain't, hey, what's up, motherfucker? What you doing over? You know what I'm saying? We gonna say something. We need to hear his voice. We need to see who we dealing with. Hey, where you going? Who you know over here?
Yeah.
That type of deal. That's how you protect the neighborhood and the community.
Absolutely.
Most of us don't know our neighbors. Most of us don't speak. And here's the deal. A lot of us we perpetuate these things unconsciously, because culturally, that's what is.
Yeah.
And again, I say all this to simply say that I really feel as though but there needs to be a shift in the conversation that we have on how do we move past this, because I feel like, again, when you got men and women sitting around talking about who the fuck gonna pay the bills, and you a weak motherfucker if you not doing A, B, and C. And by the time we done talked about that so much and beat it in the ground, the shit that's going on in life, it's done passed us by. Opportunities that we could have jumped on, it's done passed us by. I said at the end of this last fiscal year, I said, listen, as Black men, we got to find a way to start working with each other more. It hurts my heart sometimes that, listen, men, we should keep our word. You understand what I'm saying? If we gonna figure out a way to come together and make something pop, let's do it.
Yeah.
A lot of us struggle with that type of shit. You understand what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, we all trying to move solo in this direction or that direction and don't get shit done. Or if we do, it take us a very long time because we haven't aligned ourselves with other people that can really help us to really build whatever needs to get done.
Yeah. So
go ahead. Let me a little bit of a different perspective, right? So you said something that triggered a thought for me, and you said what we did was we used what was left over for us, right? So one of the things on a positive spin that I would like to add about the Black culture is this. Our culture, no matter where you are, you can see that no matter what hand you deal us, no matter what you leave us behind, we can take it and make it good for us.
We gonna make it do what it do, baby.
So wait.
I'm not gonna do that.
So, positive spin to that, right? Being the culture. On the flip side of that, because we've been so good at that, we haven't yet recognized that we're really good at surviving.
Yeah.
But we need to change that culture to be really good at from survival
to living.
And succeeding, not even just living.
Yeah.
Change from survival to succession, from survival to succeeding.
Yeah.
So how do we go from taking whatever they have given us, whatever they have allowed us to have, and not only making it good so that we could survive, but making it great so that we can succeed? That's the conversation I would like to see us having.
So my question will be,
as melanated
my question
people.
would be for all of us. What would be one of your top things to start a solution?
Get over resilience and focus on restoration.
Okay.
Because that's what we live. We thrive at, but we survive, we survive, but damn, we know that part, right?
Yeah.
Roaches is similar to how we thinking. They're resilient to anything.
Yeah.
Right? But we find a way how to get rid of roaches. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Well, we can't find a way how to get our own.
Yeah. I mean, no, I agree.
So listen, I just went to a movie premiere I told them about, Tweet, right? It's amazing. The white people that was there, They didn't argue. They didn't care how each other was dressing. They ain't talk about nobody's hair. They all look different. Hell, a guy had his old. He said, "Man, I have nothing to wear with my ugly sweater, ugly Christmas sweater."
But I'm there. But I'm
Right?
here. Like,
and I learned, and I'm sitting here watching. They up here talking about the movies that's out now. He said, "We're not like them.
Yeah.
We focusing on making better films." And he wasn't. There was a dog in nobody. They said, "This is not a movie that's going to be considered a Tubi movie.
Yeah.
This is a film. Tubi so happened to distribute the film,
Yeah.
then that's okay."
Yeah.
He said, "But our plans is to do this.
Yep.
We done it in 9 days, but we took our time." They ain't trying. They said, "We ain't trying to pump out 20 movies in a year, 10 movies in a year. Might do 3."
They want to do something to where they comfortable with them being excellent at what they do.
And exactly.
And that's what I believe in shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But we're not in charge of our own so-called black. We still believe in BET. Still not black owned.
I haven't watched no damn BET.
I was happy when Tyler Perry was trying to buy it.
Probably.
You know what I mean? At least he's a black man. Everybody, man, I don't want him to do it because he doing it. Man, he's a black man. He was trying, when Byron Island said he was doing it.
But do you even believe it like this? Like, are we even beyond that point? Just because, say, you quote unquote a black man, don't mean that you are like have the best solutions and shit for quote unquote black community, if the best interests or whatever. Because you can be another, say, black face in a high place and don't get shit done. We see those kind of people all the time.
I see the strong black man still ain't doing nothing either.
No, I know. I'm just asking the question.
I'm just giving you an example. Give you an answer. The ones who say they stronger for the community, they not doing nothing. They still talking. They still getting interviewed. You understand what I'm saying? The people I
think sometimes that's by design though too, because it's like when I was growing up, I had a dude ask me, a white guy asked me one day. He said, "Why do you guys have so much respect for Reverend Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton?"
Shit, I don't.
And I always felt
agents.
like, again, those guys are before my time, but I can tell you this much. I always felt like those guys had a lot of bark but no bite.
There you go.
It's just the feeling that I got. And so then I always noticed, but those will always be the guys that will get interviewed first.
They're always in shit. Yeah, that's
so
always
I personally believe that, and you said we need to get rid of this resilience mindset and start thinking about restoration. And I like that. That was very interesting because, again, I look at it like the longer we hold on to things that aren't serving us, the longer we just gonna stay stuck.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? And there's so many of us from a family standpoint and a community standpoint that's stuck. You know, we can't even have conversations in our community about life insurance policies without actually thinking that I don't want to talk about this because the motherfucker might whack me. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. The sad truth.
You know what I'm saying? We can't even talk about this shit because I don't want to.
But a lot of people with a colonized mind though and shit think like that though. I mean, what I mean by
and it's fucked up.
What I'm saying is would think like, hey, oh, he got an insurance policy? Yeah, let's go ahead and get this motherfucker. Now you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's fucked up.
Because that's what the hell and shit. A lot of people's standards, even say within our community and shit, standards are and shit the same. You know what I'm saying? Colonized mind as the colonizer. You understand what I'm saying? So now, that's what I mean by say quote unquote black culture. You know what I mean? Black culture to me is really like, I would say trash. You know what I mean?
We looking at black culture right now. Listen, have you guys
seen? I think if you're talking about black culture in terms of what they try to feed us, yes, it's trash.
No, I'm saying what we perpetuate and what's labeled to our group of people now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So now,
because like back in the day, no, quote unquote black culture was the fucking golden standard. You know what I mean? Where people had, you know, like the Freemans and stuff, the Freeman banks. You know what I mean? You had, say, ownership of towns and stuff like that or whatever. So, you know, a lot of that stuff haven't been talked about to that degree. You know what I mean? And then now shit is so screwed up. Now the first thing you think of black culture is somebody popping their ass on stage, or you know what I mean.
But one thing we just still have to realize: the only reason why there haven't been too many successful black banks because black people don't want the black people that
don't want to bank with black people.
No, they was poor people, and the whole point of a bank is to loan other people money.
Yeah,
and so if you loan other people money and you got poor people, you taking poor people money, they want their money back. You know what I mean? We got the same mindset. If we put something in, we want our money back real fast. You know what I mean? So if we put in the bank, hell, 2 days later we coming back and get the same amount of money. And that ain't how money fluctuate and go when it's dealing with loaning money. We have to understand we have to create a model that works for us and we understand, and that's it. That's what other groups of people do. Arabic banks don't charge interest on loans.
So the one thing I would say is I think what we've been very good at is even still bartering, the bartering system. I mean, that's what happens a lot, within our community. Not saying that it gets, it can probably get, larger, projects done at this point, but at the same time, and shit, I think it's very effective.
I can agree to that, but it was one thing about us. If he did roofing, and you did plumbing, I did electrical. Yeah, I'm away my.
We need to,
but we need
build some shit together.
But the whole thing is somebody gonna feel like one is outweighing the other, and we gonna hold them more over.
Not if you like minded.
We're not.
No, I'm saying that if we. No. What I'm saying is if we're like minded and we getting together and we say, okay, you're a plumber, you do floors, I fucking do framing or some shit. You know what I mean, or whatever. We take our 3 skills and then we put them fucking things together, you know what I mean, and build some shit, you know what I mean.
It has to
but
be
that's
built.
The problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem. We're not like-minded. I mean, we might be like-minded, but in general, that's the problem. We're not like-minded.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No. So this will feed into exactly what we're talking about right now. So my answer to that question would be, we need to come out of the victim mentality.
Absolutely.
Right?
I agree.
Stop.
Oh, I agree.
Stop hanging our lack of progression and our failures and those things on things that happen to not even directly to us. Yeah. But things that happen to people we don't even know if we're connected to. This is just the story that they told us. But we are holding ourselves back because we're hung up on that negative picture. We're hung up on playing the victim to what somebody else went through. So my answer to that question would be we need to stop playing the victim. We need to come off of that, what they did to our ancestors that we don't even know. A lot of us don't even know who our ancestors actually
know thyself at the end of the day.
Yes.
Know who you are and know who your people are.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Do a little research. And
I feel as though one of the reasons why that has been really, really hard for a lot of people is because some people might say, well, if we have that type of mentality, then we kill the whole conversation about reparations. No, and that has scared people. Listen to me, right? People will feel like, and this is when you hear people say, I forgive, but I don't forget, and these kind of things. If we move forward in a way that says, "Hey, listen, let's let all that go." There's this thing that I learned. People actually fear things that they fear. Something new, receiving something new, more than they fear letting go of something that's old, right? And so I'm saying this to say that a lot of people in our community, they fear letting go of a lot of old shit. Yeah. Because
traditional
they don't
bullshit.
Know, yes, because they don't know what the future holds and what that looks like. They actually fear that more than to let go of the bullshit that's actually holding us back. Yeah. Because one might say, well, shit, let's say we did say fuck reparations. That's cool. By the time we didn't, as Miles said, then came up with a plan to actually get some shit done, we actually would have taken 2-3 steps further, as opposed to sitting waiting for some motherfuckers to give us some shit that we've been waiting on forever.
And we probably gonna continue to wait forever. That's just the thing. we not playing the victim doesn't mean that we lose sight of the injustices that have been done.
Right.
Because like we might not have personally gone through slavery, but we are experiencing racism. We
still experiencing the after effects. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and our grandparents actually did say was part of saying Jim Crow and everything.
We forget about it. Yeah. So like I'm not at all saying we forget about it. What I'm saying is that we don't use that as excuses.
We don't use it as a crutch. Yeah.
We don't allow it to continue to suppress our minds and hold us down.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to say this.
I'm gonna say go ahead, and then I'm gonna go ahead and say what I'm saying. We can wrap it up.
I would say this: we're the only group of people that never attacked our oppressors. That just says a lot about who we not. We're the only group who did not attack our oppressors. Every other culture you name went for their oppressor.
And still going after us.
And still, with that mindset alone,
to this day, they want to annihilate their ass.
So what I'm saying with the mentality of that says a lot on who we're not.
Well, here's the deal. We actually have there's a lot of the Seminoles and stuff like that.
Man, bro, no.
I'm just saying. You made that statement, and I'm going to correct you on that one. So
no, you're not correcting.
So listen,
the Seminoles is not us.
Listen. Yes, they are. Listen, a lot say. Here we go. It was Americans, quote unquote Americans, here way before, quote unquote, say Africans even arrived. So who are those people? It was those people that was already here.
Give me a name of one.
I'm just told you a tribe.
No, give me a name of one. And I'm gonna show you. Listen,
there's tribals. What were you talking about?
When you have a culture, they will name you a person from their culture. We don't have that.
No, listen, what I'm trying to tell you. Choctaws, Cherokees, Seminoles, Apaches, all these...
You just named me a bunch of streets that's in Detroit.
No, he's talking about tribes that actually had fought, say, the American government, right?
Crazy work.
Right?
Yeah.
Throughout, say, history. What are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Brother, so what I'm saying is this. Let me say this real quick, because I know we running short. So you mentioned, say, reparations. He mentioned, say, restoration. The thing is about the U.S. Constitution is it's already written in the U.S. Constitution that they'll never give out, say, quote unquote, reparations. It's against their actual constitution and law. However, as a civil person, right? That's what we are, quote unquote, using, say, the black label. We are 13th Amendment and 14th Amendment civil people or whatever, right? The thing is about being civil is and shit, you can get, say, restorations or reclamations to reclaim your actual identity, your actual nationality, and everything that was stolen from you. Of course, say, restorations. That's what actually our people need to be fighting for, not reparations. It's the difference. Just understand that. If y'all don't believe me, look into the U.S. Constitution and you'll find out they'll never pay, quote unquote, reparations. But you can't sue them for
what group of
for
people?
Human.
For what group of people? Because they just
the same people that they labeled as Negroes, copper color, anything that was any injustice when they changed our names, Black, African Americans, and so forth.
So why does the Native Americans have
Native Americans come to find out say that title?
No,
Native
the people
Americans?
you talking about Seminoles and all that. How do they have land?
Those are tribes. Not Native, quote unquote, Native Americans. Native Americans right now are the Europeans.
But let's say Seminoles. They have land that they own. They own that the government.
They did.
Huh?
They did.
Well, they still do. I mean, I just left some. They still do.
This nigga.
They still do. And then they got land all up in the peninsula and all that.
I mean, reservations, right? I mean, now they're federal. Man, now they're federal citizens.
They're the fourth largest group that own hotels and casinos.
I agree. So listen what I'm saying. So now those group of people are, those are not, say, the actual real group of people. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They ain't stole every fucking thing. They have fucking reclassified us and took every damn thing and shit that was on this land originally. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the fact that we don't own nothing.
I have a question for you, Miles.
No,
yes. I have a question. Right? So last week when we were talking, you said we don't have a culture because, like, if we did, why do we use spoons and forks, right? Like, why don't we
I was
eat
giving an example that we don't have culture, yeah.
Okay. So my question to you is this. Why do we necessarily have to pull from the African culture opposed to I know that I have a strong Native American culture or background from my father's side of the family. Why would the expectation be that I pull from the African culture that
and
they
not the
tell
indigenous
me,
Native American
and not
culture?
the indigenous Native American culture?
Because then I would say, why you're not eating from wooden objects? Because the Native Americans eat from wood. They don't eat from silver. Because that was used to murder them and kill them. That was the whole thing of them being. Listen, the psyche of Native Americans. It's a book called Guns, Steel, and something else, and they were just saying like they only use hatchets and stuff with metal to kill. They didn't use it in their everyday life. They use wooden objects. Chinese people, Japanese people use chopsticks. Everyone has a particular culture or tools in their culture on how they eat. That's why I'll give you an example of when the Africans eat, and some Indians eat with their hands too. I ain't talking about
niggas eat with their hands all day. Last time you seen a nigga eating pizza with a fork.
Mexicans eat with their hands. When they come in, they be.
Oh, the fuck I do.
You said you've been on site.
Yeah, of course. Like Ethiopians and stuff like that. Yeah,
no, it's about Mexicans. They
Mexican
bring stuff
food. Oh, yeah.
and they dip in their hands. They don't got no big ass spoons, dipping shit. When you have a culture, you use tools in your culture.
Okay, boom. So let's go with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I also know that I have Irish, right? Why couldn't I pull from that? Why is the expectation? Because you said you had, what was it, French?
Yeah,
Cherokee, Choctaw, Free.
But that don't. But see, when people say that, which part
and French,
and
French,
is it from? Are you from Ireland or are you using Caucasian Irish people?
Okay, wait, hold on.
Ireland.
Wait. This is a good. This is very interesting because, again, and I feel like you bring up a good point. You brought up something, and his response to that was, "Hey, listen, there has been a group of people that have rebelled, and this is who they are." All right, and you said, "Well, but that's not us."
Right. That's what I was talking about.
Now, listen, right?
That
to me sums up the whole dialogue of this show.
Yeah.
Who are we?
Who is us?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? Because listen, all right, and I'm going to say this. I'll never forget. When I was younger, I cut my hair like a mohawk for a few months. And yes, some motherfuckers was looking at me weird and all this kind of stuff. I kid you not. When I tell you, I damn near felt empowered by having the motherfucking mohawk. Back during that time, it was only a certain few motherfuckers that had their hair cut like that. You know, you might have heard comments. Somebody on the back, somebody over in a black guy. All right, you didn't see certain black people with no mohawk. That's one. Eventually, you start hearing about the frohawk style.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you might have heard if a dude had his hair cut like that, he was homosexual. All right, all kind of silliness.
Yeah.
There's energy in hair. All right, and again, when I had my hair cut like that, don't know what it was. Man, I felt different in a whole nother kind of way. Like I didn't care what nobody said
Probably
about that haircut.
Into your DNA from one of your ancestors.
I say that to say that there has been times where I have visited other places and I really felt like I was at home, whether it be the food that I was eating or whatever it was that I was experiencing. Yeah. But again, I think that all of this, everything that was said here tonight, still, begs the question, who are we? You know what I'm saying? Because again, some of us, like you said, is it taboo for us to talk about our Native American side? I see some people who do that and motherfuckers be online making fun of them. Oh, this bitch thinks she Native American. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I got orange and blonde hair all over my body. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying
some weird shit.
I'm just saying that to say that I really feel like going back to the comment about the politician who was reclassifying individuals. Man, when you start doing that to people, you completely messing them up. And a lot of times, again, I was taught when I was younger, if you don't know where you from, it's hard to know where you going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then we have these conversations that, again, maybe there's some discourse or some disagreements on, simply because maybe there really needs to be some more education, you know, that's
some more dialogue, and stuff like that.
Well, just
some more understanding,
some more education and understanding.
Clarity.
Yes, so that we can be clear. Because listen, my daughter, I told her she went on that 23andMe or whatever that shit was, and I was a little upset about it. And I said, baby, them people, they are taking people's DNA and they're just compiling a database.
Yep.
Cause I looked at her, she said, "Oh, Dad, look, this say I'm 60-something% Nigerian." Then I talked to my homeboy Henri. Oh, it say I'm 67% Nigerian. Talk to somebody else. How the fuck all of y'all?
But what tribe? Look, ask him then what tribe? But look, you can ask him. Okay, but what tribe in what tribe in fucking Nigeria?
Listen.
I mean, there's probably several.
Listen,
can you pinpoint
several
that?
hundred?
No. There you go.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I think they collecting
so don't give me no
data.
goddamn general fucking
Check it out.
shit.
But you ready?
Where
it was not one. But here's the thing, though. The most interesting point.
Yeah.
It was not one thing on there that said she was indigenous to America or Native American. Now, it didn't even say 1%. And I looked at her. And I looked at my daughter. I said, baby, when I was a kid growing up, when I went over my grandma's house, I saw all kind of Indians, pictures of them sitting on the. I'm like, what?
Real shit.
So how is that not in your some kind of way? I don't understand. How do we get more Nigerian and all this other stuff? I'm like, no, I'm not buying it. I said, listen, don't listen to all that. They collecting shit.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. They collecting shit and they using AI to sort it. Because again, like you just said, there's so many tribes in Africa, depending on where you from, East, South, North Africa, all this kind of stuff.
Well,
then you come over here in the Americas, like you said. Yes, we have North and South America and all, but again, there's so many different
central on the map. Where we at?
So many different kind of Americans.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here? But I told her, I said, it's real interesting to me how I didn't see certain stuff on there. I said, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
They ain't getting my DNA. They can kiss my ass.
Yeah. But look, y'all, on that note, we're going to go ahead and ride
Great conversation. I don't think we got shit to accomplish.
Hey, look, and for everybody that's out there, hey, look, as far as a cultural, historical hero, happy Martin Luther King Day, y'all. You know what I mean? So, of course, that's one person that we can say that was in quote unquote black culture that people and shit, you know what I'm saying, looked up to, admire, and still love to this day. You know what I mean? And is very in high regard, say, in our community. All right. So oh, you want to?
No, I want. We giving a shout out to Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And I'm giving I'm just gonna say a thumbs down to the motherfucker that was at the inauguration, that was singing songs and preaching today. Did you see that motherfucker? I didn't see
any of that shit. So yeah, I didn't see.
They say he from Detroit. He was a preacher. The name of his church. I'm gonna show this shit to you. Buddy was singing songs. He wasn't even. I don't know what he was saying. He got up there, and when I show you something, it's
act a complete ass.
Listen, I think they handpicked this dude for some fuck. Who the fuck was this guy? Wait till I show you this shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that was at the crypto ball. This was at the inauguration. They had a guy that was allegedly from Detroit, from the Church of 180, God in Christ or whatever. And anyway, he got up there. He started in the middle of him preaching. It was like he was mixing songs with some stuff Dr. Martin Luther King said, and he was just pulling from everything, and it sounded like some fuckery and coonery at its highest degree.
Oh, you got paid for the fuckery.
And listen, people was in the comments saying, damn, Detroit took a bunch of L's this weekend, and now we wrapping it up with this motherfucker. It was bad.
That's
when I say it was bad, it was horrible, man.
But that goes back to what we were saying about like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, right? They only let the ones that actually make us look bad.
Well, they paid for it, paid ops. So you know what I mean?
I'm saying,
yeah,
bro. Other cultures don't do that because they have culture. Motherfuckers, niggas would die. You had cartel, not cartel, but you had Mexican people that was on the uprise with their government. When you did fuck shit, they killed you. They left you in alleys. They slit your throat. We too fucking kind. Until there's bloodshed, we would not have anything.
On that part, hey, I totally agree. And y'all make sure y'all catch the replay, you know what I mean? Hey, and we want to hear y'all comments, you know what I'm saying? So go on our page on IG or Facebook and stuff like that. Leave y'all comments about tonight's show, okay? And we gonna see y'all come next week, 9 o'clock. Y'all know what time it is and shit. Flex it on out, y'all. We out of here. Peace.